What is going on, guys? Today is a very special day as Raids 3 just dropped and the economy is going crazy. So I thought I'd take all my cash and show you guys how I flip major updates when they release. We're at the Grand Exchange. I've got 1.9 bill in my cash stack, which is going to be plenty to flip. Now, I think today the strategy is going to be to flip high ticket items, things that are really expensive, like the Scythe of Vitur, maybe the Twisted Bow, the Harmonized Orb, because they're going to be going all over the place with the update as the meta is formed around Raids 3. What I'll be doing is reading these graphs on GE Tracker and then applying the margins over onto the Grand Exchange, and we'll try to get a bunch of good flips in. The first flip we have listed is the Imbued Heart. These, as soon as the update came out, really crashed hard, but it looks like they're already rebounding, and we might be able to buy some for around 31.7 mil, hopefully sell them around 33 mil, and we'll make a slamming profit right off the bat. Okay, so I've gone ahead and started flipping. A bunch of stuff has come through, and I want to make sure that I'm still moving on items, but I need to add more commentary to my flips here. We're trying to get in on the Scythe of Vitur because it looks like it's trending upwards right now, and I'd love to buy one and ride the hype upwards. Also, we did get a Harmonized Orb, which does look like it's crashing a little bit, but I was hoping I could buy one on the dip, so that's currently what I'm doing right now. We're going to try to make some profit here, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. Looking over on GE Tracker, it does look like the Imbued Heart margin has come down slightly, but I'm going to try to sell it for above the current sell price on GE Tracker. I think these things will swing up that way and we will be able to sell it. Besides that, we've got the Harmonized Orb selling for 464 mil. This is way above the current sell price that is listed on GE Tracker, but I'm hoping this will actually swing up and we will be able to get that, although it might take some time. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that as well. We also raised the price on the Scythe of Vitur. I'm really trying to get in on this item, but it keeps running away from me, so I'm going to maybe be a little bit more aggressive with that. The last flip that we put in is the Kodai Wand. This thing looks like it could have about a 1 mil margin after tax, so it actually is looking pretty good. So I'm going to let that sit there and do its thing, and we'll see if we can flip a few of those around. Likely after I finish the Kodai flipping, I will move into the Ancestral Robe Top, as I think those are going to be quite active flips today as well. We did successfully get that first Kodai Wand off. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more than a mil for every Kodai we flip, but we did flip one for 661k, which I can't really complain about. Off to a pretty good start here today. Wow, we absolutely just smacked the heck out of those Bandos God Swords. 1.5 mil for 2 Bandos God Swords. That is freaking insane, guys. We're going to keep going ahead and flipping some more of these. I'm going to raise the buy price slightly because I don't think we're coming back down that far again, but we will actually see. Very excited about that flip. Okay, at this point, for some reason, all the rest of my audio got messed up, so I have to do a post commentary on the rest of this video, but I did not want you guys to miss out on this insane session that I had. So in this clip here, I made 7.1 mil on the Inquisitor Mace, which was our first flip on that mace. And we also made like 800k on that Ancestral Robe Top flip, which I was super happy about. This was the start of an insanely good session. Next, I saw an insane margin on the Elder Maul, so I had to get in on that. Each one we flipped was like 500 to 600k, so I got them as quick as I could and listed them back immediately to try to get that margin. When you're flipping on these extremely volatile update days, you want to keep in mind that margins will not last long, so even if you have to buy and sell in shorter quantities, you should, because you want to secure those insane margins. We ended up getting those Elder Mauls off and we profited about 2 mil, which was really nice. And at this point in the session, I was already up 14 mil, so things were looking really good for the rest of the session, although we were about to hit some hiccups in a minute. Boom, we actually ended up getting the Harmonized Orb off, even though it was only for a 2.1 mil margin. I also think at this point we were able to flip a couple more Bandos God Swords, bringing our Bandos God Sword total to a 3 mil profit, which was really good. 20 mil profit secured. This was crazy. I think I flipped a couple more Kodai ones to bring us up to that 20 mil profit mark. And at this point, I was realizing that we were clearly on pace for an amazing day as long as I did not make any mistakes. Okay, this was a pretty big turning point in the session because it let me know that not everything is going butterflies and rainbows. I realized the Inquisitor Mace and the Harmonized Orbs were not selling, and on G-Tracker they were down like 10 to 15 mil each, which was kind of making me nervous. On top of that, we had the Imbued Hearts as well, which I needed to sell off. So right now, I was kind of in risk management mode. What that means is I was looking to double down on flips that had gone poorly and mitigate risk on flips that I did not think would work out and try to exit them at the cheapest price possible. And in this clip, we're back down to 16 mil because I sold the Imbued Hearts for a loss. I think that was our biggest loss to that point. It was 4.5 mil in losses. I wasn't too upset about it because I knew that that kind of comes with flipping on update days. When you're flipping in these scenarios, things are going to swing rapidly and you're not bound to win every single time. Also, you might notice that I have a buy offer for the Harmonized Orb and the Inquisitor Mace. This is a common risk mitigation strategy where if you're down on an item you already bought, you can buy another one so your buy average is actually cheaper. That way, when the item swings back up, you can sell them for a cheaper overall price and still make a profit. We're swinging into the next clip. In this one, I was really looking just to mitigate risk. So I was flipping things that had been working for me already. I was really hoping that these vials of blood would flip as well. And I decided to test out the blood essence as sort of a passive flip that I could do. Also, the Kodais were crashing, so I was trying to flip those as well to get in on a discount. By the way, this video was not meant to be a post commentary. I lost all the audio to the live clips, but if you are enjoying the post commentary, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to do more of these and talk about my flipping strategy in the moment if that is interesting to you guys and if that actually helps you learn how to flip. Because I was nervous about the Inquisitor Mace and the Harmonized Orb we had crashing too much, I swapped into some easy flips, the Dragon Boots, Stamina Potions, and I kept the Vials of Blood. These are really simple flips that I knew would make us some easy money, so that way we could pump up our profit per hour that way, get in on some easy flips. I was also starting to notice at this point that people were using Torva in the live streams that I was watching, so I decided that Torva would probably be very, very good to flip as I knew a lot of trades would be going on top of it, and it was most likely going to be uptrending just due to the demand for it. This is where we started to get back on track from a profit standpoint because I was actually able to get a Torva full helm to buy and sell, and I think in this clip we actually get another one to buy. Yeah, we get another one to buy as well, so I was going to go back and sell that. We also had the Kodai wands flipping for a pretty good margin. I think we were getting like 1.3 mil for the two Kodais that we were flipping here, and that's 1.3 mil each. We were back up to 19 mil at this point. I was throwing in the Vials of Blood and the Manta Rays as that high volume flip just to kind of balance it out a little bit, which ended up working out very nicely for both items. This next clip I recorded about 30 minutes later, so I was just giving an update to the session. And we're up to like 24 mil at this point. I was able to flip a few more of the Torva full helms, which ended up working really, really nicely. This is probably one of my best flips of the entire session that we had today. There was one more that was better than this, but I don't want to spoil it quite yet. And I was able to actually get in on the Scythe of Vitur as well, which we only flipped for a 1.2 mil profit. The Torva full helms were going insanely well at this point, and that is a pro tip to anyone. If you are flipping an item and the prices are not exactly matching up to GE Tracker, but you're still having success in making good profit on the item, stick to that item and ride it out, because if the prices are not reflected on GE Tracker exactly accurately, then you have an advantage over everyone else in the market if you stay on top of that item. So that's a pro tip, guys. Also, I decided to go in for the Torva plate body at this point as well, since the Torva full helms were working out really well for us. At this point in the session, I didn't have any luck with the Torva plate body. I tried to get the scythe again, but I don't think it worked out. And at this point, I kind of just stepped off the brakes a little bit. I was going to get lunch, and I was kind of just seeing where the market would go at this point. So we also adjusted the harmonized orb because I saw the price was going back up on this thing. So I wanted to turn a flip that was failing into a flip that could actually make us profit. At this point, I had found a really good margin on the Arcane Spirit Shield. I think we were able to flip one for like 2.5 mil, which I was really hyped about, so I put all my focus towards that. And we also were trying to get in on the Aram's rope skirts because those were showing a really good margin, and I thought they were continuing to go up. My mind was going all over the place, but we decided to switch the strategy again. I started going for like all these medium level PVM items because I realized that the entire market was going crazy. It wasn't just items being used in Raids 3, it was literally everything. So I spread out a bit more and tried to diversify my cash stack. And I had a brief fling with the Elysian Spirit Shield here, and we'll see if that works out. In this second half of the session, things started getting really crazy. I mean, this was the craziest part of the entire day. In about 3 minutes, if you check the timestamps, I made literally 9 mil. And it's just because the Arcane Spirit Shield, the Brimstone Rings, the Amulets of Torture, they all started selling. And it just gave us a huge amount of profit in a short period of time, which felt amazing. At this point, I knew that we were shattering any previous daily profit record I had. I was happy to realize that because it's always good to beat your personal best. Anyway, this next clip here is absolutely bonkers. I end up hitting a major margin on Torva plate legs in literally like, I'm not even kidding, a minute and 30 seconds. I made 13 mil on the plate legs. I listed them, they bought in 30 seconds. I dumped them really fast and I made 13 mil. I've never gotten this lucky on a flip in my entire life. And at that point, we were at a 52 mil profit. I was very focused on the Zarite Van Braces and more Torva full helms at this point, and plate legs, of course, the Torva legs, but I didn't end up getting any more pairs of those. The Zarite Van Braces, though, were working out pretty well. I flipped one for 1.9 mil, and I was happy with that, so I was trying to get in on some other items to see where else the profit was lying. I was basically realizing at this point that I got really lucky on a couple things, so I was just trying to swap to a different item category. At this point in the session, I had reached 60 mil, and most of that was just flipping the Torva full helms. I tried to finish all my limit for those because they were just working so consistently for me. And I also raised the price on the Harmonized Orb again to 473 mil. And it was trending upwards, so I was really happy to try and sell that back. Also, the Inquisitor Mace looked like it was going back up as well, so all these items were looking really good. The Aram's rope skirts worked out really well, which helped on the profit standpoint. And I also tried to get some Dragon Claws too, which ends up working out for us for another like 1.5 mil profit. We were pretty deep into the session at this point, and I was running out of ideas and things to flip, so I rotated back into the medium level PVM items with the Ring of Suffering and the Bandos Tacets, which actually did end up working out pretty well for us. I was also trying to flip the Zarite Crossbow at this point as well. This was a major moment in the session because we actually ended up selling the Harmonized Orb for like 470 mil, which was huge because we were bag holding that for like the entire session. And the weird thing was, though, it didn't get counted in my flipping utilities tracker, so it didn't get put in the profit for some reason, but we did actually end up selling it, which I was hyped about. At this point, the only thing I was nervous about in the session was the Inquisitor Mace. This is sort of like a milestone clip. I was at 70.4 mil in profit at this point. I was pretty mind blown because honestly, I did not expect the market to be this crazy. I guess Raids 3 was just extremely hype. But anyway, I was flipping the Armadyl God Swords. They were having great margins. I think it was flipping them for like 350k each, which is just absurd for a lot of these items. Also, the Abyssal Bludgeons, very similar margin on those. At this point, I knew I was coming towards the end of my session, so I basically went for anything that I had success with, or anything that I hadn't gotten to yet that I really wanted to try. And that was the Eldritch Orb, the Twisted Bow, the Ancestral Robe Bottoms, and the Armadyl Chain Skirts. Those were looking really good. I wanted to flip a Twisted Bow for the novelty of it, and the Eldritch Orb I thought was just uptrending, so I thought we might as well try to flip it. None of that stuff really ended up working out, like the Twisted Bow and the Eldritch Orb. The only things that really worked were the Ancestral Robe bottoms and the Armadillo chain skirts. Those made us enough profit to get us to the 75.1 mil mark. And I think I might have flipped one Zarite crossbow in there as well. But at this point, I was done with my session. 75.1 mil is insane money for one day of flipping. I also wanted to include a recap of what I ended up flipping during the session, and we ended up making about 16 mil total on the Torva full helms. We flipped 7 of those, which is crazy. I think we made 13 mil on the Torva plate legs, which is awesome. 7.1 mil on the Inquisitor mace that we ended up flipping, which was really good too. We also did the Arcane Spirit Shields for a total of 5.7 mil. We flipped 3 of those. We did actually flip 3 Harmonized Orbs, but it only showed 2 of them for 5.6 mil in profit. But we're more likely like 15 mil in profit on those, since we made 10 mil on that one that dipped and then shot back up. The Bandos God Swords, this is a mind-blowing profit. 4.1 mil for just flipping 8 of them. That is really good for those Bandos God Swords. Ancestral Robe Bottoms, 3.5 mil. Very good performance on those. Armadillo God Swords, 2.8 mil. Insane margins on those. Elder Mauls, we flipped 5 for 2 mil. What is up with that? Rings of Suffering, 4 for 2 mil. That is insane. Zarite Bracers, we got 2 mil on those. Ancestral Robe Top, 1.9 mil. Kodai Wands, 1.8. And besides this is just a bunch of 1 mil stuff. But we had a lot of luck flipping PVM items in general, and this was a crazy, crazy session. We also had some losses, though. We lost 1.8 mil total on the Zarite crossbows and 4.5 mil total on the Imbued Hearts, which those are the only 2 losses for the session, so it's really not that bad. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This was by far the most fun, crazy, insane, and profitable flipping session I have ever had in my entire life. So drop a like if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to this channel, so be sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you all in the next video.